Tired of looking for your dog's accessories like their collar, leash, foot wiping towel, and cookies before you go outside on a walk? We build it all into one convenient station, and we'll show you how. After this. I'm Kyle from Adventures at Home, and in this video we're going to show you how to make what we at Adventures at Home call our Pup Station Mini. A great place to hang all of your pet's products and accessories, including their cookies. Let's get to work. Alright, so what we need for this project is pretty simple. We need a 13-inch piece of 1x4. We just chose to use pine for both these. It's pretty easy, but you can change up your wood species as you desire. We need a 5-inch piece of 1x6. We need a 16-ounce or pint mason jar. We got the ones with a blue tint to it. You're going to need some hardware, which we'll cover as we use it in the video. You need a keyhole mount. It's better if you can get these ones with 2 holes in them that are made for hanging mantles. And you just need some coat hook hangers. Alright, the first step in this video is going to be to rip down this 5-inch chunk of 1x6, so you have the finished dimensions of 5 inches by 4 3/8 inches. So let's go do it. Alright, next we're just going to need a 5-inch piece off this 1x4. Go ahead and mark that out. Next, we're just going to need 2 pieces cut off the remaining piece of this 1x4 that are at 45-degree angles. So let's go ahead and get those marked. Alright, now that we have our pieces cut, I'll show you how it's kind of coming together. This is the chunk of 1x6, and this is going to be the top. We got our 2 45s here for a little support. Those will sit in there like that. And then the mason jar is going to clamp right there, and that's actually going to hold the treats. And we're going to put the 2 coat hooks on either side. So we can go ahead and assemble this now. We're going to use a brad nailer. If you don't have access to one, just use some glue and some brad nails, and you can pound those in by hand. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is mount the mason jar in there. So a great way to do this, if you want this facing forward, is we just have the logo on the front, and it kind of looks weird if it's cocked off to the side, so you either want it straight back or straight to the front. So with this all the way tight, how you're going to have it screwed in, we're just going to take the mason jar, we're going to center it, and we're just going to take a mechanical pencil and mark on here where we think this is going to be, or where that needs to be, and we're going to mark on the board so we can keep those lined up as we unscrew it and then screw this in. So the way we're going to attach the mason jar then is all you got to do is take the lid off, and we're going to screw this whole thing down. We're going to use some 3/4 inch self-tapping screws. So let's get that lined up again. Make sure everything still looks centered. And we can just go ahead and drive these in. We're going to use 4 of them just to make sure we don't rip out this thin metal canning top. So it's okay if it spins on the first one. You're not going to tighten it down all the way. Now we can go ahead and swivel this, line it back up, and now we can put the second one in. Go ahead and tighten the first one down and put the last 2 in. Next, we can go ahead and mount our keyhole. So we are going to mount this slightly different. Normally you would mount these vertically. We are going to mount these to the back, or mount this to the back horizontally. That way when you push up and down on the jar to get it started and to take it off, you don't actually pop the keyholes off and keep it loose. So we're just going to mount this horizontally on here. Now we've got that centered, go ahead and mark the holes. And we'll just drill a few pilot holes to get this started. Alright, let's go ahead and install it. Now if you don't want to use the keyhole hanger like we did, you could also just go straight through the back of this with some screws into drywall anchors, but we find this is easiest. It's kind of a pain to get these on the wall, but at least you can take it off then if you need be. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to mount these on the side. These are awesome. We use these to hang leashes, towels for wiping paws off, his collars. We use them for everything. And the best part is we don't have to use our own coat hooks anymore for dog stuff. So I got that about where I want it. I'm just going to check so I can get it lined up with the other side. I'm coming in about 2 5/8 to the top hole. Go ahead and mark those. Drill some pilot holes. Alright, everything looks good. We can flip it over and do the other side before we install these all the way. So there you have it. Your Pup Station Mini is complete. Now you can go ahead and finish this however you want. You can paint it, you can do whatever. We of course are going to sand it, and then we are going to use the burnt wood finishing technique. If you haven't seen it in any of the other videos, go ahead and stay tuned and we'll show you how it's done. Alright, so all that we did was take the two hangers off and we just sanded it a little bit, but it's kind of nice to leave sharp edges on there because they are going to burn faster than everything else. So if you don't have a smooth round over edge, they are going to burn. So we leave a lot of them pretty sharp before we do the burning, and if we have to go back and touch up afterwards, we will. Let that cool off for a sec. If you guys did notice, I wasn't too concerned about the top of my workbench. If you haven't seen the video yet, you'll have to check it out. We resurfaced this with a product called rigid vinyl sheeting, and it's extremely flame and fire retardant, so I'm not real concerned about putting the torch right near it. So if you haven't checked that video out, go ahead and do it now. Or do it after this video. Alright, now that that's cooled off, we can just go ahead and reinstall these. If you notice, we just left the top of the mason jar on there. Not real concerned about that getting a little singed. If anything, it'll just add to the look. The last thing you need to do is fill this with cookies. This holds a ton of these little milk bones. Oh, and it looks like Timber knows that sound already. The last thing you need to do is just mount this on the wall right by the door. Convenient. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. If you want to keep continuing to see content like this, we'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Your support means a lot to us. And until our next video, I'm Kyle, helping you create your own adventure at home.